Well, the Southport inquiry, which began in July, resumed today with victim impact statements. One of those was by John Hayes, a local businessman whose office is in the same place that the attack took place in July last year. And he spoke about when he heard what was going on, he went through to try and help the victims who were being attacked by Axel Rudakubana. And in that struggle, he was injured. He had a knife wound to his leg. He was stabbed, and that was a 10-centimeter wound. And he spoke about the extent of those physical injuries and the fact that he feared for his life. He said that my overriding feeling was one of fear. I thought I was dying at every stage. Whilst on the floor in the office, on the stretcher, in the road and in the ambulance, that anxiety didn't diminish until I was at hospital. Only when in hospital did I feel safe. He then required surgery, and he's now left with a permanent scar. And he also talked about the mental scarring that this incident has left with him and his wife, talking about its impact on his life, the fact he now has PTSD, and when he goes into the office, he doesn't want to work late or let work unaccompanied while staying there late, and that he's had a peephole installed. And he also spoke about his life and the impact as well, saying that I wouldn't say what has happened has dented my enthusiasm for life, but you can't go through something like that and not be impacted. I find it harder to enjoy things than I did previously. In some ways, my world has got a bit smaller, and I feel vulnerable outside our bubble. However, I am a survivor, and I'm grateful to all those who played a part in enabling me to say that. We also heard victim impact statements from the parents of two girls who were at that dance class, that Taylor Swift themed dance class, one of whom was injured, and they spoke about the fact that the day itself was one that started as a part of their summer holidays. It was a moment and a day that they were looking forward to, but their mother recalled getting the call from their father, who had rushed to the scene, saying that children had been stabbed. She said that I faced the moment I'd been dreaded. She's saying that I arrived to a scene reserved for nightmares. It felt as though I was watching from outside of my own body, like someone was living my life within a film. Emergency services were everywhere. Children lay hurt around me. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to know. And then they spoke about the fact that one of their injured children was taken to hospital, and they didn't realize the extent of their injuries and how close to death they had come. And then the moment that they had to tell their youngest daughter, who was a friend of Alice Da Silva Aguiar, one of the victims who died, had them to tell them that had happened, that Alice had lost her life, saying, shortly afterwards, I faced the moment I had been dreading. Telling my youngest about Alice, she asked a question with an innocence and hope that broke my heart. I knew my answer would shatter her faith in the world. No parent should have to watch their daughter lose their belief in the world, in safety or human kindness, in a single moment. And then they went on to talk about the extended impact on theirs and their daughters' lives, talking about shifts and changes to their schooling, how they interact with other people as well. And there they said that for our eldest, returning to school has been equally as challenging. She continues to live with the physical pain of recovery and heightened anxiety. She's constantly on alert, assessing every room she entered. And then they spoke about their wider hopes for this inquiry, saying that no child should have died that day. We hope this inquiry brings lessons and accountability so that no family has to suffer what we and others have suffered. Despite the evil act that has so heavily impacted us, we refuse to let it define us or our girls and their future. This inquiry continues, but what we had over the course of this morning were two really devastating pen portraits of the impact that the Southport attack had